Morning, bro. It's day 4 of Vlogmas. I hope that your day is filled with a lot of good luck and prosperity. I understand that now, especially, it's easy to lose track of the goal, lose track of the mission. So I'm just hoping that you can stay on task with whatever you want to accomplish. All right, so I'm back, finished work, about to hit chest. No Nut November, bro. A challenge where you just restrict yourself from lust, you know? You just focus on retaining your energy. People say that it's not real and that there's no science behind it, but there's something powerful about just attention. When you focus all your attention on like chasing and chasing and chasing, it implies that things are moving away from you. And when you try too hard to kind of like follow things, people, relationships, it just adds more stress into your life. That's kind of something I learned too doing the monk mode or the ghost mode that I did recently. It's just like when you value something else over yourself, you're basically giving up your self-importance, you know what I mean? Like when you pedestalize distractions, when you pedestalize like chasing, money even money, right? People go to great lengths to chase things that ultimately is constantly moving away from them. And I learned that recently, it's just not always worth it. Sometimes it's just better to just focus on yourself and to be selfish. Because when you're selfish, you build yourself up. You're more focused on being somebody that can attract these kind of things. Let's say, for example, you're a money chaser and you're not the kind of person who's skilled enough to make money or to understand money. You're gonna resort to things that give you quick money, like scamming or stealing or whatever, because you're so focused on the external outcome of getting more money. But when you become someone who understands money, at least who focuses on what it takes to attract money, like building a skill, having a valuable resource or asset, something that people want to pay you for, it changes the dynamic. And I think that also applies to relationships. There's a lot of people who are unsuccessful in relationships because they focus so much on chasing. And they don't realize that they themselves aren't someone that people want. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. To think that you're the problem, but sometimes you just are. I think there's an order to things. And for example, if you have like an unattractive personality, or you're just somebody that doesn't get along well with people, you can't expect people to want to get along with you. That's kind of just common sense, right? But so many people have this idea that they deserve things that they haven't worked for. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? I'm not gonna sit here and grandstand and tell you that, oh, I have all the answers. But I will say that there does come a point where you have to look at yourself objectively. Even me, I have to look at myself objectively and say, you know what? Maybe I should take a step back, learn a skill, become valuable, and then offer my skill to the market. Hold on, let me get this set real quick. Hold on. My elbows are snapping, cracking, popping like crazy. I should do more elbow warm-ups. Life moves too slow to realize sometimes that like maybe, just maybe, you're not qualified, right? Like you can compare yourself to everybody else and be like, oh, well, they have this, they have that. But like, look, truth is, sometimes people have it because they pre-qualified to get it. And if you wanted to, you have to pre-qualify to get it. It's just an order of things. Don't chase.
I can see it, I feel it. It's cooking.
Don't chase things you're not ready for. Because if you get them, you're gonna lose them. That's kind of what I'm saying. Oh, that's a lesson. It's a lesson. That's today's lesson. Don't chase things you're not ready for. Because if you get them, you'll lose them. Let's say you want a fast car. You want an expensive car, right? That's what you want. Are you the kind of person who can actually have access to that? Do you make enough to have that, like outright? Or are you gonna be the type of person who has to like pay, like get in crazy amounts of debt, you know, for something that you just can't you can't have, right? Maybe you don't need an expensive car right now. Maybe you need a regular car. Maybe you should get a beater. You are a beater car guy. And that's okay. Maybe it's just not in your cards right now. And the thing is, when you overreach like that, you try to do too much, it ends up biting you anyways, because now you put yourself in a deeper hole. So temperance, you know, you gotta learn to delay gratification. Like I'm delaying this set right now. Let me hit a set real quick. Because we've advanced so much as a society, we think that we deserve more, sooner and faster. Apparently, most men overestimate how well they can fight, even though they've never trained or been in a fight or even had any altercations in their lives. And maybe it's the same kind of thing, like you believe very much in something because you overvalue your competence or yourself. And I'm not trying to make this channel like a negativity channel. Honestly, I like uplifting and inspiring. And if you watch my shorts, subscribe and watch my shorts. But if you see those, I talk a lot about just like your mindset and things of that nature. But when I think about it, it's like maybe that comes from more so learning to get to that point instead of being at that point already. The things that you need to do to reach a next level in your life, they require a lot of change. I don't know, I saw a video recently of a guy. He was talking about how he became rich at a young age, and I think he was actually rich. And he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be the kind of guy to tell you to wake up at 5 a.m. Like, I don't believe in that. And everybody has their own path. It's more of an identity shift. I don't think waking up at 5 or being up early or doing stuff like that is about like necessarily bringing success. It's more about being the kind of person that can stick to a structure. It's about being the kind of person who can do things that are uncomfortable. These are aspects of your personality, of our personalities. And if you're anything like me, and if you resonate with my message, you're trying to be better, right? Self-improvement isn't about being at the finish line. That's the thing. It's called improvement. You're improving. You're not improved. Continuous daily goal to improve. It's not about getting there and being done with it. Your experience points comes from self-development and self-actualization. That's your XP. Like in a game, if you go find like a purse, you know, you go to a villager and the villager's like, hello, traveler, find my golden loot, right? And then you go, you find the golden loot, you go back to the villager and he's like, oh, thank you for my loot. Here is 5 gold, right? He gives you 5 gold, maybe some XP. right? Life isn't like that though. You can't just go find loot and then become a better person. You know what I mean? You have to go through hardships and life experiences. And then you have to not only go through them, you have to take something away from them. I'll tell you a story actually. Hold on. This is my warm-up set. You gotta love to warm up. Warming up feels great. Loosens you up, pause, makes you less prone to injury. I love warming up. People should do it way more often than they normally do. The reason why I started hitting the gym. So in middle school, the girl that I really liked, she told me she likes guys who have abs. So naturally, I decided I'll make it my life purpose to get abs. And I was like 12 maybe, and I was at home doing the like 6-minute abs, like planking and crunches, you know, watching Rock Lee motivation compilations on YouTube. And eventually I got the abs, right? And funny enough, I didn't get the girl. But learning the act of having a goal and then setting a plan and achieving it was my ultimate takeaway. And that was one of the things that I carry into my adult life. I have goals that I want to achieve, and I set plans and I work towards achieving them. So it's not really about the end result when you set goals for yourself. It's about what you learn along the way. It's about developing yourself as a person. And the more you do that, the more you grow, the more experience points you actually accumulate. And I think that's why it's important to set big goals, because if you set small goals, you're gonna end up in a position where you don't learn anything. All right, I thought of a really good example when I was doing my exercise. So picture this, your goal is to travel, right? You wanna go explore a different country. For you to make that goal happen, you're gonna learn how to budget, you're gonna learn how to save, you're gonna learn how to delay gratification, because there's gonna be some expenses that might come up. There's some things you're gonna wanna buy that you just don't have the money for. You're gonna learn a bunch of different skills that are gonna help you later on in life. And it's more than just, I wanna travel to this country. It's like, I need to build this skill and become the kind of person who can afford to go to the country. Because let's say you fail in that goal. You don't save your money, you don't budget, you don't learn how to make more money even, then you're not going on that trip, you know what I mean? And you can't blame anyone else but yourself, because you're the one who decided to ignore the skills required. So don't chase outcomes, chase skills. Chase skills, not goals. Second domer of the day. So it's important to set big goals, because if you set small goals, let's say your goal is to save 50 bucks. Ask 2 of your friends for 25 bucks each. Now you have 50 bucks. You've achieved your goal, sure, but it's such a small goal and such a meaningless effort behind it that it doesn't show you anything. You don't evolve as a person. You don't self-improve. I think it's the last one. Should be. Hope so. I don't know, I don't remember. One for good luck or what? I hate when that happens. I know how many sets I'm supposed to do, and then I mix up my warm-up set for my working set, and I'm like, oh man, did I do that right? And then you either have to do another one or you have to go home knowing that you failed, that you didn't do as many sets as you were supposed to, and it replays in your head and you're like, oh man, I should have done that set. Like, that's bad vibes. And we don't want bad vibes going into the new year. Oh man, my chest pump is about to be filthy, bro. Should I do a reveal? I'll do a reveal for you once. I haven't done like a physique thing in a while. Do stuff. And when I mean do stuff, like just trying new things, because it'll teach you things that you wouldn't be open to. Have you ever been skydiving? I've been skydiving. it was pretty fun. And it's one of those things where it shows you a new perspective on the world, literally. And you see the world from the top down. It just makes you think like there's so much more to life. Do your best to try new things. I guess at the end of the day, good things just take time, right? And trying to rush that process, it doesn't work out. Like there'll be times where like, let's say I upload a video and my channel's small, right? Very small. But I'll put something up and then it takes time for it to gain some traction. But I look at it sometimes at face value and I'm like, oh man, like this isn't gonna go anywhere. But then after a couple days, it picks up some momentum. And even though it may not be a lot, it's a lot to me. But if I stay in the mindset of like, oh, like it has to happen now, it has to happen now. Especially when I haven't achieved that level where it can happen now, right? You gotta walk before you run. And it's okay to walk. And some people walk faster. Some people walk slower. So when you're walking, just pay attention to your own lane, I guess at the end of the day. So it's gonna take time for you to figure out like what you really are gonna be good at and what you can accomplish. It takes time, live life, have experiences, and then once you learn more about yourself, then you can start like really moving into the advanced levels of life. Life is really just a video game, bro. It's a video game, but it's a game that like is very grindy. It's very grindy, but when you grind, it makes a difference. If you grind really late game, then early game is difficult. But if you grind early game, late game is much easier. So it's better to grind early game, right? You do your tutorial, and then once you finish the tutorial, you start at level 1. And once you have an idea, you start to build an idea of the game mechanics and how you want to play the game and how you want to design your character. And then once you get an idea of, okay, what that is, focus on leveling up, you know? Don't focus on the side quest, you know? The side quests are things that just don't level you up. Focus on your health, your character, you know, your finances, your relationships, distractions. Those are the side quests, you know? Let me watch more TikTok, side quest. Let me watch this movie, side quest, right? Things that don't directly relate to your experience, right? I've always found it interesting how people like to watch MMA fights. And I don't take anything away from it. Martial arts aren't for everybody. Well, martial arts are technically for everybody. I recommend everybody get into martial arts. But sometimes you can't, either physically or it's just not your taste, right? If it's not your taste though, you're probably not watching fights. But the point I'm trying to make is this. People who watch fights are usually into fighting, but they don't fight. You know what I mean? You don't have to spar to learn how to fight. You know what I mean? Like, why not, instead of watching other people live the life you want, try to live their life? You know what I mean? Or live the life that you want for yourself. If you like watching martial arts, why not take up a martial art? You can do both, right? You can get involved in sports that you're interested in and still watch the sport. The point I'm trying to make is if you like something and you watch other people do it and you can do it yourself, why not just do it yourself too? And then you might be like, oh, well, it costs a lot of money to get into martial arts. I agree with you. That's what the point of setting goals are. Because now, not only are you going to design your life to get into a meaningful hobby or activity for yourself, you're also going to learn the skills that we talked about before about saving, budgeting, earning more money. You're going to figure out life skills. You're going to level up your character. So instead of sitting at home and watching the fight, where you sit at level 1 fighting skills, right? You're gonna decide, I wanna sign up for a martial arts gym. Now you have to level up your character, build up some skills, become a level, 5 finance, and then a level 4 delayed gratification, right? Boost up those stats. And then when you actually start fighting, you go from level 1 fighter to level 4 fighter, right? And the levels are infinite, really. I think to truly master something, you have to be leagues above everybody else. Like Hashirama, he could heal his wounds without weaving a single sign. You know what I mean? To become that level, I don't believe it's very common. So you can always just keep building. Don't stop, don't stagnate. Keep learning skills. Even if you're in a position where you're happy in your life, there's nothing wrong with picking up another skill to help keep your life interesting, But this video is gonna get kind of long, so I'm gonna cut it off now, finish my workout. But watch this video, or this video, I don't know. I'm gonna say one of these sides. I can't see myself. Subscribe if you want to, it's on one of these sides. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good day. Or good night.